Welcome to the Sam and Joe VA Show, where we teach women just like you how to start and scale a thriving virtual assistant business.
We're your hosts, Sam and Joe, and get ready to have the control, flexibility, and freedom you've always dreamed of.
Welcome to episode 100, the best bits from 100 episodes.
Oh my gosh, 100. I'm still a little bit in disbelief that we have made it. It's not that I didn't think we would. It's just a big number. It's a big milestone.
It really is. It's 2 years of commitment and dedication to every single week at 12 o'clock on Wednesday releasing a podcast episode.
It's funny. I was just chatting to Mark before coming on, and I said, guess what? We're recording episode 100 today. And he's like, that's amazing. Well done. And I kind of went, I don't think I've ever done anything in my entire life so consistently than I have this. Like nothing. Well, maybe I was going to say brushing my teeth, but maybe not even that. I don't know. I brush my teeth more than once a week. But do you know what I mean? Like outside of that kind of daily stuff, I honestly don't think I've done anything this consistently at all.
It's accountability, I reckon, and just like the commitment we've made to all of you listening that, you're relying on us. Many of you listen every single week. You wait for that podcast episode to come out. So we can't not. We've committed to it, right?
Yeah. No, super. Hey, happy podcast birthday, Joe.
Yeah, happy 100th podcast episode.
Love it. So how do you think we have changed in the last, 2 years of recording these? Because I think we've come a long way, Joe.
I think we have. We've relaxed into it. I feel like we have a lot more banter, more relaxed, more like fun than we were potentially in the first episodes, because that was nerve-wracking.
Terrifying. Pure terror. Absolute pure terror. It kept me up at night in the lead up to sitting down and recording our very first episode. Like I couldn't sleep. Just the anxiety and the stress and what this means for us and the VA Foundry. Like it was a big, big moment. And I know personally, I wasn't sure if I was quite willing to step into that space because of what it could potentially lead to.
Yeah, I was not sure how it was going to be received.
Yeah.
Is anyone going to listen? If they do listen, what are they going to think? Because like you're putting yourself out there with all of your advice and your best tips. How is it going to be received? Was my biggest kind of like panic.
So a little bit of, because we are opening ourselves up. Where in some of these episodes we're being very vulnerable, and that you are then allowing yourself to be judged by others because people they judge.
I can't get away from it, right?
Can't get away from it. Yeah, I agree. I think we've definitely relaxed into it a lot more. I think I maybe swear less as well, or maybe actually we had a look at the kind of how many episodes have explicit on them now, and they seem to kind of come in chunks. So maybe it depends on the mood of the month. Like September last year, lots of explicit. I think December was another one. There was quite a few sweary ones there. So maybe it just depends on what's going on in my life as to how stressed I am. It then affects my, how much I swear.
Well, we have heard feedback from some of you listening that you actually chose the ones that were marked as explicit as the ones that you listened to first. Yes. So that's very interesting.
Yes, because once again, you don't know how that's going to come across. Because when you are being yourself, it's that whole, we talk about it finding clients, it's attract and repel. Some people are going to be quite attracted to the fact that I'm got loose lips, and others are going to be, potentially put off by it.
Yeah, but I think the kind of important thing is that we've stuck to what is authentically us. We haven't tried to be other people or be super professional, or not swear. And that's the reason why you're still listening 100 episodes in, is that you right now are listening because you have been kind of attracted to our style, or you like the kind of advice we give, and we haven't repelled you yet. We might later. But that's so important for your VA business to be authentically yourself. Like if you meet Sam or myself outside of the podcast in real life, then you'll feel like we're the same kind of people that you've listened to this whole time.
Yeah, and I reckon that's the greatest compliment someone could give us, actually. When that does happen and they go, oh, it's just like I thought it would be. You're exactly how you come across on your videos and your podcast. I'm like, we're doing something right then. We're absolutely doing something right. Thank you so much for that. Yeah.
Let's have a chat about the growth that we have seen in the podcast. Yeah. When we first started in that very first month, we had 414 downloads.
And do you remember? I was going to say, do you remember how excited we were about that? Like, I remember just going, holy shit, 400 people have listened to that. And then I freaked out because 400 people had listened to that. And then I think at that point, I was still very reluctant to even listen to the episodes. I refused. I was still in that, no, I can't hear myself talk. I don't want to do it. But then it took, once those numbers started increasing, I'm like, I have to actually listen to one of these because I need to see how I'm coming across, how we're coming across, what's working, what's not.
Because you pick up tips from listening to yourself. And, you know, if you're doing videos for your VA business and you hate the sound of your voice, or you want to get better, honestly, listening to it is the best thing you can do, because I started to pick up that I would say certain little phrases over and over and over. And especially reviewing the captions, I noticed the same words. So I've really made a conscious effort to not feel like I have to fill all my gaps with ums and ahs, and that it's okay to go slower, because I tend to talk quite fast. And I used to say a lot, absolutely, every time you finished, Sam.
I was going to say yours was absolutely, I was going to say yours was absolutely, and mine was 100%. You'd go absolutely, and I'd go 100%. Absolutely, 100%.
And we always felt like we had to, like, kind of, you know, in normal conversation, it's really polite to kind of acknowledge what the other person just said. In the podcast, though, it takes a lot of effort to not do that, but it's really unnecessary. That's what I've been focusing on, because I know that I talk over you, Sam. And I sometimes, if I'm not really knowing what I'm going to say next, I kind of recap or repeat what you just said. Really bad habit. So, like, these are the things that you need to list. The reasons why you need to listen to yourself if you're doing videos, because it's you pick up so many tips on how you can improve.
But you know, but also that comes with time. I mean, that was when we started this 2 years ago. We were at the very start of our business partnership. Completely, it wasn't just a new podcast episode; it was a new business. Really, we were still getting to know each other. So it was also learning to trust one another. That we could then finish a sentence, trusting that the other one would have something to say. And that takes time, that trust. That's just, I don't think that's something you can rush.
Do you realize that it was June 2020 that we started the podcast, and that was like 3 months after we had got together to do the summit or something?
Yeah.
Or maybe 4 or 5 months, but still, anyway, a very, very short time.
Yeah, we didn't really know each other at all. Whereas now we can finish each other's sentences sometimes. It's pretty scary. You can see the other one thinking and what it is they're going to say, and knowing what one of us is really good at or passionate about, and then giving them the space to then talk about that. Yeah. Learn a lot.
I really have. I know when you're going to say a specific phrase, it's that freaky.
Well, maybe I'm just like really predictable.
So predictable. So let's talk about what the numbers, the downloads are like this, like last 30 days, because 414 in the first month, 2 years later, 2,400 2,475.
That's mental. That's just like, that's a number. 2,475 downloads in the last 30 days. Compare that to what, that 414, our very first month. And now that's, I look at that number and I go, that's pretty much close to 3,000. That's how I look at life. I just, everything's. But no, isn't that amazing?
That's very, very cool. So we want to really thank you. You're the 4,000. What is it? 2,475 people who are downloading and listening. So thank you for listening and tuning in.
So, Jo, 100 episodes, close to 3,000 downloads a month. Let's talk about our best bits from the past 100 episodes, because there are so many. It was really hard, actually, picking which bits were our best, because we have so many like highlights and crack up moments and silliness and mistakes. It was hard to pick.
It was. And we've got some of our best, funniest bits in there. I love those ones. I hope that you love the ones where like we just can't talk anymore because we're laughing so much. So let's kick it off with our very first best bit. This was from episode 79, where it was you got the client and now what?
Yeah, this is a standout for us because it was just so relatable. I don't think there is one virtual assistant on the planet that didn't feel that moment of panic after signing on a client, then thinking, what the hell do I do now? Like, now what?
Now what? All right, let's play it.
This is normally the point that we see virtual assistants, especially those new to the industry, absolutely freaking out and panicking. Because up until this point, they have all of their focus, and rightly so, has been on finding the clients. Like doing what they can to build meaningful relationships and showing up consistently and adding value to impress leads and people that are following them. That's where all of their attention and focus has been. So then they meet with somebody and that somebody wants to hire them, which is super exciting. So for a split second, you were just overfilled with like, oh my gosh, this is the best day ever. And then like 5 seconds later, you're like, holy shit, what do I do now? So, Jo, one of the things we really wanted this podcast to be was relatable. Like, we didn't just want to be lecturing people on the nuts and bolts, the ins and outs. We wanted to have personality. We wanted those listening to feel as though they were really getting to know us.
Yeah, just like it was sitting like at a cafe chatting, right? And I think we really nailed it because we've had one of our listeners, Nicola Cronin, give us a review that says, this week, I finished every episode of your podcast and I feel like I am now missing something in my life. It's similar to finishing your favorite show.
Oh, I love that. That's so nice.
And we actually joked about doing the daily podcast, but we're not going to do that. We're going to keep it as a weekly. But for those who do like listen one after the other to catch right up, I'm really sorry that you have to wait a whole 7 days to listen to the next one. But we promise you that it's quality over quantity on this podcast.
Absolutely. It's like binging your favorite Netflix, isn't it? And then having to wait for a few months. Although you don't have to wait a few months with us. It's literally the next week.
Yeah. Okay, our next little snippet, our best bit that we want to share with you is episode 91, My $1 Million Virtual Assistant Business.
Oh, yes. I think this has to be the highlight of this year, at least, recordings, this year's episodes for sure. I was just so excited for you, and I think you can really tell that.
And this next little bit, yeah, you were just as excited as me when we actually realized that we'd achieved that. So, yeah, let's play it.
Yes, your $1 million virtual assistant business. Congratulations, Joe.
You.
This is so exciting. When we originally planned to record this episode this week, it was actually going to be called something different because up until basically like 5 minutes ago, Joe had been on track. Well, Joe's virtual assistant agency business, Strictly Savvy, was on track to reaching another $1 million year in business. And then Joe just went, oh, let me just double check the figures, and went away and tapped away. And then literally she's like, oh my God, we've got a month and a half left of the financial year to go. And we've reached it. We've surpassed it already. So well
We
done.
have just hit it. So as at today, we have achieved $1,035,774 in revenue, New Zealand dollars.
Hats off to you, Joe Jensen, and the Strictly Savvy team, because that's important. It's not just Joe. It's not just you. You're not doing the client work. You've got a GM that deals with the day-to-day running of your team. There's an entire team around you, Joe, isn't there?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. This is hardly any me. I might have billed maybe $1,000. I might have billed $1,000 of that. But what we wanted to talk about today is like the celebration of hitting $1 million and how it is actually possible to create $1 million business providing virtual assistant services. Isn't it just so cool knowing that we're making such a difference in so many virtual assistants' lives? Like, we love hearing how much you're enjoying the podcast and all those little like tips that you're getting out of it, and seeing you get clients and like doing amazing.
It is. And let's share some more feedback that we've received. This one's from NCC, who says, this podcast has become my go-to every time I plug the headphones in. So much knowledge, and it gets you thinking constantly about improving and creating change in your business.
That's so awesome. It's so lovely knowing that people are actually listening and really like it, because sometimes when you're doing a podcast, you're just talking into the world, what is the word for like is it the ether?
Ether? Yeah. I don't know. Just out loud. Sometimes it's just you and me chatting, and we don't actually think any further than it's just you and me chatting. And then we get feedback like this, and we go, wow, it is actually making an impact in people's lives. And sometimes that can make us a bit teary, but in a good way, teary.
All right, so our next best bit is from podcast episode 64. You're overthinking it.
Oh, yes. Those overthinkers. I don't know if virtual assistants are naturally inclined to overthink, because so many do. I mean, I'm an overthinker, so there's no judgment from me. Like, I overthink a lot of things. But the thing with overthinking is it just stalls your progress.
It really does. It's, I just want to like reach through the podcast, through your phone, and give you a hug right now if you're an overthinker, because it really holds so many virtual assistants back, doesn't it?
It does.
All right, well, let's play the best bit from episode 64.
Yeah, if your neighbor or your mum or your granddad or your great aunt Gertrude doesn't know what a virtual assistant is, it doesn't matter, because chances are they're not your ideal client. Let it go.
Yeah, you do not have to have everyone understand. You do not have to attract, or you don't actually want to attract everyone. You want to attract a very narrow group of people who get it, who understand, who want to hire someone like you.
We got some really neat feedback from Tracy Locke. Was it this week? Last week it came through, didn't it?
I think it was, last week.
Share that one next, because that's so cool.
So Tracy says, it's like having lunch with your besties, but soaking up so much info at the same time. Best podcast ever.
Nice.
Boom.
Boom. Can't ask
So
for more than that.
what's that?
Can't ask for more than that.
No. That is the ultimate compliment, I would say, to a
Yeah.
podcast. So thanks very much for that, Tracy. All right, the next best bit, episode 96. This is a recent one.
This is 90. Yes, this is very recent. Yeah.
Can you have too many clients?
It was really interesting seeing the response when we started promoting this one, because I knew it. I knew the comments would start coming and like, oh, wow, can't wait till I'm at that point. Or, oh, isn't that a nice problem to have? And they did. They came just as expected.
It did. So, this is where I get the podcast took a bit of a weird turn, I reckon, from 96 onwards. We started talking about some very unusual stuff. So, without further ado, let's play the clip from episode 96.
Now, if growing your team isn't where you see your business heading, and unless you can find a way to clone yourself, good luck.
Soon, I reckon.
How long? How long do you reckon it's going to take?
Oh, 30 years.
30. Hey, that's not too far in the future. We'll still be alive.
That is just the number I plucked out of the air, by the way.
I thought you'd listened to a podcast episode on it recently and you had some stats and science to back up for your claim.
Do you know what is so interesting? When you listen to Elon Musk and someone asks him a specific question about when he thinks something is going to happen, he's actually calculating it in his head accurately and then will say the exact time frame that he thinks.
That's crazy.
So I was going to be Elon Musk, but I'm not that smart.
We all know what I'm like with numbers, so that's not happening. What we're talking about cloning, yes. So unless you can figure out, you don't want to wait 30 years to clone yourself. You don't want 30 years of being overwhelmed and burnt out and falling out of love with your business. That's too long. So cloning's out. So cloning's out. You're not keen on growing your team and scaling up. Then you have got some other options. The first one, increase your pricing. Boom.
No brainer. I love how you ended that one. Boom. No brainer.
Well, it is. It's an absolute no brainer. Okay, let's share some more feedback. This one is from NZ Floozy is the name on Apple. And NZ Floozy shares, as a VA in my first year of business, I get helpful action to focus on from every episode of the podcast. Sam and Joe are giving real life business advice from both sides of the coin. I just love their imperfect action attitude, as so many of us think, it needs to be perfect, and then end up procrastinating instead of doing.
Those procrastinators amongst us, because we want to get everything perfect. Yeah, I'm so glad that you have picked this up from what we teach, because there's one of the key things that we talk about is that imperfect action, and just like doing it anyway and putting stuff out. Like, this podcast is not perfect. We mess up during the podcast recording. We don't re-record it. We just keep going. And I'm sure you don't even care that we mess up sometimes.
No, in fact, I probably think people enjoy those bits the most because it's real. It's real. Yeah. Right. What's our next best bit, Joe?
All right. The next one is from episode 87, and it's the biggest mindset shift every agency owner must make.
Yes, this made a huge impact with our listeners, especially, actually, not only those that are thinking about growing, but those that have already started growing. There were so many, we got so much feedback, and it was like, oh my gosh, why is it taking me so long to realize this? Such an amazing piece of advice that you shared with everybody, Joe.
Yes, I think the penny dropped for many. So let's share this with you. And there's a key phrase that this virtual assistant said. Do you remember what it is, Sam?
Oh, no, it was something. Something about. I know that she didn't feel as though by taking herself out of that client work, those billable hours, that she wasn't actually going to feel as though she was being productive anymore.
That's the key phrase. She said, I still want to do work and be productive.
Mm. Mm.
And so as soon as I heard that, I was like, there's a mindset shift that needs to happen here.
Yeah.
We are so used to, as virtual assistants and employees even, of working the hours and being productive and, doing billable work for the clients. And that's how we make money. And we get so stuck in that's the only way that we're going to make money is to do billable hours. But actually, working and being productive, doing the other stuff in your business that is not billable hours is where you are then going to make the biggest gains in your business.
Mm.
Working and being productive means marketing. It means client management. It means onboarding. It means lead generation. All of those things that is still working and being productive. And is more beneficial, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's that whole on your business versus in your business. And I mean, this is stuff that virtual assistant business owners, virtual assistant agency owners are preaching to their clients and their leads that are contacting them. This is the whole sales thing, right? Give us the stuff the stuff that you don't need to be doing. We'll take that off your plate so you can work on what matters, the bigger picture, growing your business. Now, we're preaching that to all our clients, forgetting to do it ourselves.
All right, we have another one of our listeners who has given us a review. Lindsay Beck. She says, I listen every day to and from work.
Oh.
It's so cool. It's like, I've heard people say that like it's the driving is a really good time to listen to the podcast, and also like walking their dog or having their morning walk. So what a great time to listen to the podcast to and from work, knowing that you're going to leave your job one day.
Yeah, how cool is that? Now, who was that? That wasn't Dave from the Kindergates, was it?
No. It's Lindsay.
It was Lindsay. Thank you, Lindsay. That's cool.
All right, so next little snippet we have for you, the best bits of the last 100 episodes, is episode number 70, the red flags you should not ignore.
Ignore when? Like ever in life?
Yeah, just never.
There's got to be more to that.
Well, there probably was. I don't know what the full title is.
This is the one about when bringing on subcontractors.
Oh,
the red flags. Yeah. Can you see my confusion there? Because there can be red flags about a lot of things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see your confusion. I needed better notes.
And I think we picked this one because, correct me if I'm wrong, this was the episode where you had me questioning my entire identity as a virtual assistant business owner.
Yes, and what you would say for the last 2 years, suddenly the penny dropped. You've been inaccurately saying that.
I know.
Years. Yeah. So if you don't know what we're talking about, let's play the clip now.
I love the way you're so generous saying we're going to share our 10 red flags. These are not my red flags because I don't have a team and I don't want a team. But Jo, she is the absolute pro at this with a team of 30 plus, having done it for almost 10 years. You do it regularly and you do it really well. So these are all Jo's.
Do you know what the funniest thing is though? For everyone listening, they're like, I thought Sam has team members at the VA Foundry though. So you know what? Sam is actually in denial that she has team members. She also has team members at her virtual assistant network of New Zealand. She doesn't realize that she actually has them though, but you do. And I think because you've had really good experiences with your team members that you have hired, or you think of them more as service providers to you rather than team members, because they're not actually doing work for your clients. But you still have team members. They're still part of your team. They still do things on behalf of you inside your business.
Jo, what have you done? This has been my thing for the last 2 years.
I know. You can't say it anymore. You just can't.
Actually, you know what? I hadn't even thought about it. I hadn't
Yeah.
even thought about that. I guess because I don't have a team within my own virtual assistant business.
Yeah.
I guess maybe that's why I still automatically say it. But I'm sorry for those of you that help me on a regular basis with the other businesses. Please don't think I've been dismissing you. I just hadn't even occurred to me.
Oh, and it's actually a compliment for anyone who does work with Sam. It's a compliment that she doesn't think of you as team members, because what she thinks of team members is like having a bad experience, because you have to manage them and check on them and make sure they're doing a good job. So you're doing a really great job. So take it as a win, everyone who works with Sam. So there we have it. Sam has been a liar for 2 years, lying to you all about her status.
I'm so sorry. And I don't know what to say about that, but given that the next bit of feedback that I'm about to read out from Corinne is about honesty and how honest we are.
Very, very fitting.
So fitting. Corinne shared with us that she highly recommends any new VA or already established VA to jump on and listen to the Sam and Jo VA show. They are honest, amazing, and you can learn so much from them.
Thanks for listening, Corinne. Yeah. That's awesome. Really appreciate that feedback. We definitely like to be honest here on the podcast. I'm just joking, Sam. You were completely honest about everything.
Yeah, that was just, I was just a bit late to the game, like catching up. I just needed that little reminder that things have changed. Right, what's up? Let's share another best bit from the last 100 episodes.
Episode 97, just 3 episodes ago. 4 ways to attract premium clients.
Yeah, this was a really good one. And I don't even think... this wasn't on our radar. This wasn't a scheduled one that we knew we were going to record, because often, we've got a schedule. We know what's coming up. But I think we were prompted by this influx of virtual assistants sending in questions all around the same thing. And it came down to they weren't being intentional with the clients that they were bringing on. And so they were ending up with like dozens of, I'm going to say, low value clients. Yeah. Which, I don't know, is that a mean thing to call somebody a low value client?
No, it's just they're not valuing them, or they just kind of want easy things done.
Yeah. Right? And this just gets tiring after a while. Tiring to sustain. So if you can then attract a more premium client, then in theory you don't need as many.
Yeah. And I think the kind of bit that we're going to play next is I think we've like really missed airports. We've missed flying. We've missed traveling. So this is really top of mind when we were recording this. So let's play it.
There, money's not the object. It's time for these people. So how do you attract them? How do you go from hanging out in the economy lounge with all the plebs to first class lounge?
Is there a separate lounge for first class?
I reckon there is.
You reckon? Maybe.
Surely.
Where do the celebrities hang out, right?
Well, that's next level. I think they have their own. Yeah, let's lever you up at the airport by getting
first class
clients. I wonder how many virtual assistants we've inspired to quit their jobs, Jo, over the past 2 years.
Oh, I bet a few. We're seeing quite a few come into the members club at the moment who are wanting to do that exact thing. And I think the podcast really inspires them to take that leap, jump into the members club, and then resign and make that kind of plan for having your own business. How cool is that?
It's so cool. It's so cool. Once again, changing lives since 2019.
So long ago. So we have a review from one of our listeners, Javan Parnui. And they say, I just started today while working. I was listening and it gave me so many tips as I was going about my day. How cool.
So
We can just
cool.
be there while you're working in the background, inspiring you to be able to one day quit your job, have a VA business.
It's very cool, but it's also a little bit weird knowing that people just listen to us. Like someone could be listening to us right now.
Yeah, it's called a podcast, Sam. That's what they do.
Oh yeah, that's what we've been doing all this time.
All right, so this next little snippet we're going to play is from episode 96, another recent one. Can you have too many clients?
Yeah, we picked this one because it's a trap that virtual assistants fall into without even realizing it. And it's not until they're at the point where they have taken on too many clients and they're burnt out and overwhelmed and stressed out and are questioning whether or not this was the right move for them, that they then realize, hopefully by listening to this podcast episode, that there is things that you can do to avoid this happening, and there's absolutely things that you can do if it is happening to you right now in order to turn things around.
Yeah, there's a major piece of advice that we give. I don't think it's in this little snippet, but the increasing of prices, we've just talked about it over in the members club too, and it's so important because many of you who we've talked to recently are in that situation where you do have too many clients, and every single time we see this, it's all about increasing that price because it's just too low.
It is. Let's have a listen. Early on in my business, I didn't even think I knew it was possible to say no. Like I didn't even think that was an option because I'd been trained in my corporate life for decades that you just did the work that you were given. So I brought that across to my business. Someone rings up, someone sends in an email. Yeah, okay, I'll do it for you. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'll take that on too. And it just ended up putting me in a position where I was overwhelmed and burnt out. Like I just wasn't enjoying it, which is crazy because all it needed was for me to go, no. No, just one word. Or maybe no, thank you. More polite way. 2 words.
3. That's 3.
No, thank you. Oh, yes, it is.
You can't count, Sam. You can't count.
Hey, I never, it's not something no, that's all right.
We promised Sam did go to school though. It's okay.
I'm better with words than I am with numbers. Let's just leave it at that.
I think one of the other missions that we had, or kind of the thing that we talked about right in the beginning, was that we wanted this to be a podcast where we actually said how it was. And we didn't just say that everything is going to be amazing and like this business is going to go so well and you're going to get so many clients, you're going to, et cetera, et cetera. We wanted it to be the real life, what it's like being a business owner and having that like honestly how it is theme running through everything. And I think we really did that.
Yeah, I think we have. And it is. This is something that's really important to us. Like we don't want to lull people, especially those new to the VA world, into a false sense of security. We don't want to make promises that we can't keep because we see other coaches do that, and that is not what we are about. And Mel, one of the reviews that we've got here is from Mel, and she says this podcast is great for anyone thinking about or new to the world of VA. Sam and Joe speak so honestly and are a fantastic team.
Yeah, I think the team thing is what kind of sets us apart from other coaches too, is that we have such great perspectives from different angles. The freelancer, the agency route, we like don't agree on everything. We don't have the same kind of stance on everything. So it gives everyone kind of a really great wide perspective on stuff.
And it does. And it just shows that there is no one perfect right way to do this because everyone is so different with different views of success and have different whys and what's important to them, different priorities.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. So let's share another little snippet. Episode 85, send the damn invoice.
Yeah. This was this is one of those moments that I think those that have listened to it and are about to listen to it just go, oh my gosh, I never thought of it that way.
Mm-hmm.
I never realized the negative impact on my clients by not sending the invoice or not being consistent with them or not sending them on time.
Yeah, let's have a listen.
It is, because if you take anything at all away from this podcast episode, it's that if you don't value your own time, your clients never will.
Mm-hmm.
You're training your clients to undervalue you and to treat you poorly and to not expect to be paid for the services that you're providing.
Yeah, let's just cover that again. You are training your clients to undervalue you. Unfortunately, this is your fault, but fortunately, you can make the change that you need to make. You are in control. Because we like to blame the clients for not valuing us, but it comes from us first. We need to teach them that we are valued, we do valuable work, and we value ourselves.
Yeah. And probably there might be virtual assistants listening to this and go, well, I invoice all my clients. Do you invoice on the same day every month? Have you given them, a time in which that they have to pay that invoice? Are you then sending automated reminders?
Yeah, as a VA business owner, there's a lot of fear around sending that invoice, and there's actually quite a lot of fear in general with all sorts of things, isn't there?
There is. You name it. There's someone that's going to be fearful of it. But it's about moving past those fears, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. So we've got another review to share.
We do. This one's from Kate McGregor. Kate wrote, I love listening to the real conversations that Sam and Joe have about all things business and VA related. They speak from different perspectives and about all things good and bad in the VA industry and business world.
Yeah, so there's that kind of fear theme that's coming through with a couple of these little snippets that we want to share with you. And this one is from episode 77, Fear Disguised as Learning.
Yes, because how many virtual assistants do we see? They buy all the courses, they attend all the summits, they go into all the workshops, all the coaching calls. They're looking for the latest person selling the newest sparkly thing. They're doing all of this, but it's disguising something deeper.
It really is. So yeah, have a listen to this little snippet. And if you haven't heard this whole episode, it's a real goodie, especially if you are tempted to keep learning. So let's take it away. We see this all the time where there are virtual assistants who are paralyzed by fear, who keep saying, I just need to learn this and then I'll feel confident. And then I just need to learn this and I just need to learn this. And they need to have everything sorted and all this learning done and this constant feeling. I think it makes them feel like I'm doing something, I'm learning. But what they're actually doing is just stalling their progress because they're paralyzed by that fear.
Yeah, and often that fear, not always, but often that fear comes of, it's an unworthiness. I'm not worthy enough. I'm not good enough to be putting myself out there yet. So I need to do all this learning to make me better because I'm not good enough as I am right now, which is bullshit. So according to JD Cambridge VA, we are fabulous, informative, relevant, and we're a great listen full of positivity.
Brilliant.
Cool.
Sometimes we're not always positive because we want you to know the things that you have to know to then have a successful business. And sometimes that's not that positive.
No.
But we cheer
Sometimes,
you on.
yeah, sometimes it's saying the things that you may not want to hear,
Yeah.
but you need to hear.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is one of them. This was a really tough episode to record. And we were wondering whether we should even record this, but it's such an important topic because we see so many virtual assistants who have a launch date and they have all of these things that they want to do before they launch. So episode 55, forget about your damn launch.
We've got 2 snippets for this one. And one of them is become one of Joe's most famous quotes, I think.
I think so. So, yeah, 2 snippets coming up. Forget about your damn launch.
I'd been in business without launching anything, without having any online presence whatsoever, without having a logo for months before I even considered thinking, oh, look, maybe now's the time. You don't need it. You just don't need it. The hard part, well, it's not even hard, but I think for aspiring virtual assistants that have this big, grand, I need to launch thing idea in their head, all of the stuff on their pre-launch list is the easy things for them. It's the safe things. They're not having to step out of their comfort zone very much, if at all, in order to get these things done.
They're all behind the scenes stuff, aren't they?
Yes. Yeah. The hard, even though it doesn't have to be hard, but the perceived hard part comes after their launch, which is the finding clients bit.
Mm-hmm.
We're just putting
and
it off.
All that is about is reaching out to your current network. We all have a current network, whether you realize it or not. There are people who know you, they know your work ethic, they know, like, and trust you. And so honestly, it is all about reaching out to your current network first. It's really, I'm not going to say it's simple. It's not easy, but it's simple. We actually beg you not to have a launch, an official launch. I'm going to be really super harsh.
Go on, do it.
No one cares about your launch other than you and your mum. It's so, so true. Honestly, it's really hard to realize that no one cares
No, they
at
don't.
all.
Yeah, the Prime Minister isn't going to turn up and cut a red ribbon for you. You're not going to be on 3 News. Just enough. Enough of the excuses, enough putting off the hard stuff. Just put yourself out there and please just forget about that damn launch date. So we looked at the stats before coming into the studio today to find out what were the most popular of the 100 episodes so far. So what are they, Joe?
So far over the last 2 years, it's kind of no surprises. When we thought about this, what was going to be number 1? It's no surprises that the very first podcast episode, not the greatest episode we've ever done, by the way.
No.
The very first episode makes sense, right? That would be the most downloaded. People find the podcast, they go on, they listen to number 1. So number 1 was, what the heck is a virtual assistant?
Next up, number 2 of the most popular downloads in the last 2 years, where to find clients. Once again, no surprises there because that's what everybody wants to know.
Yeah, they sure do. Next one was number 3 most popular episode for the entire time we've been doing this was number 5, the best website platform for virtual assistants.
Gotta love Rocket Spark.
Rocket Spark, because most virtual assistants, that's kind of top of mind. How am I going to get a website? I don't know how to do websites, so how do I create one and have an online presence with the website? Rocket Spark, amazing kind of DIY drag and drop tool.
They make it so easy. So why wouldn't you use them? Yeah. Next up, number 4, our 4th most popular episode in the past 2 years is the silver bullet.
This was in episode 95, so it hasn't even been around for the last 2 years. But
It's been around a week, Joe. A week and 2 days it's been around, and somehow it is our 4th most popular episode.
Mm-hmm. We are wondering whether one of you listeners, has shared this podcast in a group somewhere, or that it's just actually everyone wants the silver bullet, that one thing that they can do that is going to give them a successful virtual assistant business. The silver bullet. That's what everyone wants.
Yeah. So if that's what you want, if you're listening to it and you're wanting a silver bullet, check out that episode for sure. And the last one on our list, the 5th most popular episode of the Sam and Joe VA show in the past 2 years is what services to offer as a virtual assistant. Because a lot of those, not just those entering the VA space, but actually those that have already been doing it a while, they can get really, it's easy to get distracted by the shiny in-demand services, isn't it? Rather than sticking to what you know, what you're good at.
And I think virtual assistants also think that I've got to make this decision and make it right because I can't change it later, or they don't realize that they could change it later. So this is a real kind of sticking point for virtual assistants, is the services to offer. You want them to be popular. You want people to want them and need them. So
yes. Yeah, don't overthink it. Right, that's our top 5 anyway. What's our next best bit, Joe?
All right, the next best bit, another episode that kind of made us really sit up and notice and think about what we were saying the whole way through. This is episode 62, the reason why you're not getting clients.
Oh, yes. I'd forgotten which one you were, so this is a surprise to me.
Yeah.
That's a good one. This was one of my most favorite to record. And it's probably, does it get a little ranty?
Potentially a little ranty.
Potentially.
But it's kind of it's the stuff that every virtual assistant who is struggling to find clients had to hear.
Yes.
It was hard. It was really hard. It was harsh.
It was.
All right, so let's share our best bit from episode 62.
I've lost count of the amount of virtual assistants that I have seen come into the business, spend all of that time and energy on, as you said, the behind the scenes stuff. So their logo is gorgeous. Their colors are great. Makes a great first impression in terms of a visual online when somebody finds you. They'll spend weeks putting together a website. They'll pay for a directory listing, but then they sit back and then they wait, and then they wait some more, and then they wait some more, and no one's coming, and they're wondering why.
And then they're in a financial situation where they actually have to have it work, otherwise they're going to have to get a job. So you don't want to spend the first, let's say you've got, right, I can do 2 months without bringing in any revenue, and I can deal with that. I've saved up, or whatever your situation is. Don't spend that 2 months then doing all of your branding, logo, website, getting everything ready, and still then having no clients. You need to be spending that 2 months reconnecting and reaching out to people that you already know and letting them know that you are now a virtual assistant, a social media manager, a website designer, whatever it is. That's the part that you need to be doing in that 2 months, not the other stuff. It's not relevant in the beginning.
Yeah, the other thing we see a lot is virtual assistants. They may have been in business for a little while. They've maybe had a couple of project-related clients, or got maybe 2 ongoing clients, but they're not getting any more. It's kind of stalled for them. So then they start spending their time on upskilling, because they think they need to be better. They need more skills or better skills. What they've got currently, they don't feel is enough.
Yeah, the virtual assistants have been I need to find a course on this, and I need to find a course on that, and what's the best course to upskill in Canva, or what's the best course for whatever. when actually that's just fear talking. They don't need to upskill. They just need to be doing the things that find clients.
So we're almost at the end of our best bits, Jo. And before we share our final best bit from the past 2 years, we want to say a special thank you and shout out to the guests that we have had on, sharing, being really generous, sharing their time and their energy and their expertise with us and our listeners.
Yeah, we've had a number of guests over the last 2 years that have just been so inspiring to our listeners, and not just other kind of business owners who are experts in their field, but also virtual assistants who have been there, done that, quit their jobs, and are now successful virtual assistants. So yeah, thank you to everyone who has been a guest on the podcast. We're so grateful.
We are. And from all of our guests, actually, we were going to do this, Jo. We were going to do it. We were? Yeah. I wasn't sure if we were going to pick favorites or not. Are we going to share the most popular?
Oh, maybe we said that we weren't, but it's not our favorite. It's our listeners' favorites.
This is true. Okay. So for those of you that are interested to know what guest episode has been the most popular in the past 2 years, I can't remember the number, Jo. You're going to have to remind me the number, but it's 57. The episode with Amy Smith from Ask Amy, how Amy quit her 9 to 5.
Yeah, episode 57. And I think this was really popular because how many people want to quit their 9 to 5, right? That is the big kind of discussion at the moment. How do you quit your 9 to 5 and have a flexible business where you feel in control? And Amy did it. She did it and she got fully booked.
Yeah, such an inspiring story. And the fact that not only she did it, she became fully booked, she's in demand, she's killing it, but she's done it without all of the bells and whistles. She took all of our advice, still doesn't have a website because she doesn't need one.
Yep.
Isn't across every single social media channel there is because she doesn't need to be.
Yep. And she's not getting burnt out because she's very particular about the clients that she says yes to and her boundaries, her expectations of her clients, and she communicates those.
Yeah. Oh, love it. No wonder it's one of the most popular ones.
All right. And our final best bit to leave you on the most hilarious part of the entire 2 years of podcast episodes, where Sam absolutely lost it and I could not stop laughing. This was hilarious. If you've listened to all of the episodes, you'll know exactly what episode we're talking about. It is episode 27, How to Make a Poor First Impression. Can I just whip off and get some water? Because I really need some water. I'm not going to have it on my desk prepared.
Oh my gosh, I'm crying. Just a little bit of tissue. I'm prepared. I got a tissue.
I might just have a little drink.
You know what? I've had a busy week and I haven't.
Oh, Sam.
It's so ridiculous. I've had a busy week and I haven't had time to put the laundry away. You can see it in the back.
You're just going to have your unfolded washing sprawls behind you, aren't you?
I am. It's been a busy week, Jo.
Oh, the reason why we're laughing is because this is so ridiculous, isn't it? But honestly, all of these things happen.
Oh my gosh. Every time I re-listen to that clip, it literally has me in tears. I have to grab a tissue. I don't know. It just gets me every single time. It was so hilarious, but it was equally really sad because these are real life examples.
Things that actually had happened. So it had a real serious message.
It did, yes.
But it was absolutely hilarious. Loved that episode.
So funny. That's it, Jo. Those are our best bits from the past 100 episodes. But you know what? Well, first off, let us know. Reach out to us. If you've listened to this, you've listened to all our best bits, I'd love to know, is there a best bit that we, from your point of view as a listener, that we didn't cover? Love to know that.
And a huge thank you. Thank you for sticking with us over 100 episodes and listening to our little Sam and Joe VA show podcast that we had big kind of dreams and plans for.
Well, you did. You have big dreams and plans.
Yeah, okay. I
was dragged along kicking and screaming.
But we're so grateful. Like, obviously, there is no podcast if you don't have anyone listening. No. So with over 2,000 of you, or almost 3,000, as Sam likes to put it, almost 3,000 of you actually listening to what we're saying. And we're so grateful for you. And thanks for listening.
Yes. Yeah, it wouldn't be what it is without you. I mean, if we were still, if we were still at that first month, that 400 downloads, we hadn't seen the growth and seen that we were making an impact, would we still be doing it?
Yeah, maybe not.
Ooh, it's got deep.
So we obviously love talking about topics that you really want to hear about. So if you've got a question or something that you think would be a really great topic, something that kind of you're struggling with or something you'd want us to cover, feel free to reach out to us in any kind of avenue that you like. Send us in your question. We would love to answer it on the podcast. Because otherwise we're just making up topics ourselves, and who knows whether you actually want to listen. So it may as well be something that you want to hear.
And if you know somebody in the business world that you think would be a great guest for us, that's got something that they can share with our community, once again, reach out and let us know.
Yeah. And please do share with us your feedback, share with us your reviews. What are you thinking about the podcast? We would love to know. So keep that feedback coming. And make sure you subscribe. Subscribing means that you won't miss any of the episodes that come out every single Wednesday at 12 noon. We would love to have you stick around and keep listening, because we're not stopping. We are continuing this.
Oh, we are? I thought that was it. I thought this was our 100th and final episode, Joe. Is it not?
Did you see the word final in any of the things we said or the title, Sam?
I was hearing it.
No, so we are continuing, and we love that you are going to be here along on that journey with us. So if you would like to give us a gift to celebrate that 100 episodes that we have now put out to the world, please leave us a review. We'd love to hear what you think. It obviously helps us spread the word more, having those reviews on there. So wherever you're listening to this, please rate, review, and subscribe.
Thanks for listening, everyone. Thanks for being on this journey with us. And Joe, cheers to 100 episodes.
Cheers. We need some wine. Chink.
I got water. Cheers.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Sam and Joe VA Show. If you'd like to find out more, head to the VA Foundry website to check out the Members Club and the amazing resources, training, and coaching.
You can find us at thevafoundry.com.